The Brooklyn Nets have been in the news recently due to their contract negotiations with Kyrie Irving, where they are struggling to find a reasonable contract for Irving because they don't really want to pay him a fully guaranteed contract. The Nets feel this way from Irving missing a large amount of games every season when he was with the Nets. In the regular season, Kyrie Irving only played in 20 games in his first season with the Nets. Then in the second season with the Nets, he only played in 54 games. And in his third season with the Nets, he played in 29 games. Now, Kyrie Irving has listed the teams he would like to play for if he can't reach an agreement with the Nets, which include teams like the Los Angeles Lakers, New York Knicks, Miami Heat, Los Angeles Clippers, Philadelphia 76ers, and Dallas Mavericks. His list has made people realize that he might leave the Nets and continue his career somewhere else. Kyrie can either accept his player option with the Nets and they could trade him if they can't reach an agreement with a new deal, or he can go into free agency. From the Nets' contract negotiations with Kyrie Irving not going anywhere so far, it has led to Kevin Durant considering his options with his future in Brooklyn. I think the Nets would still be contenders if they trade away Kyrie Irving or lose him in free agency. But if they lose Kevin Durant as well, then they will turn to a team that would be rebuilding instead of contending. When Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant signed with the Nets in 2019 in free agency, people expected them to take Brooklyn to the finals and possibly win a championship. However, they haven't been able to get past the second round of the playoffs ever since they've been with the team, and now the Nets are at risk of losing them both this offseason. It would be a shame if Kyrie decides to leave Brooklyn because it has been fun to watch Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving play together on the same team. If Kyrie decides to stay with the Nets, then I think their team would be one of the favorites to win the East. Kevin Durant hasn't said that he will want a trade if Kyrie leaves, which is a good thing. Although, if Kyrie does leave Brooklyn, then the Nets will be missing one of the best offensive players in the NBA who can significantly impact the game. I just hope the Nets can get something in return for Kyrie instead of losing him in free agency. I think the best case scenario for the Nets is to find a way to give Kyrie Irving a new deal and keep him on the team. This will probably keep Kevin Durant invested in the franchise and not request a trade as well. If Kyrie stays with Brooklyn, then people can finally see the trio of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons next season. If only the Nets knew if Kyrie would play in enough games next season or seasons after that to impact their team, because then it would make it a lot easier for the Nets to pay Kyrie the amount of money he wants and not have any trouble negotiating an extension to his contract. Maybe I'm exaggerating the seriousness of the Nets and Kyrie Irving not coming to an agreement about Kyrie's contract extension, because it's still possible that the Nets can re-sign Kyrie to a new contract. People in the league also think that Kyrie will return to the Nets. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving haven't really requested a trade to leave Brooklyn either, so there's some things that the Nets can feel optimistic about. I just don't want to see the Nets lose one of their stars or even two of them this offseason from their disagreements with Kyrie about his new contract. I hope the Nets find a way to keep Kyrie Irving on their team because I still think he can help play a part in helping the Nets win the East and possibly win a championship.